Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay and Oakland, California. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, as the 2019 regular season starts speeding toward a conclusion, not too many games remain to be played here in Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. With you from the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. A CDR matchup here. A couple of teams last year that were really pretty similar. Both under 500, both missed the playoffs, and they both think that they can turn things around in 2019.
Yeah, how about 2018, though? A case of the haves and the have-nots. In 16-game seasons in the NFL, for the first time last year, no one finished 8-8. Now, you know that in baseball, basketball, other sports, turnarounds can take 3, 4, 5 years. In football, could just be a few months.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Jacksonville's offense taking the field here, and Charles, their quarterback position was interesting in Week 13. Nick Foles started the game, struggled, 7-14, threw an interception, so he got replaced. Gardner Minshew came in to finish the game, and then Monday of this week, they said it will be Minshew getting the Week 14 start.
And I think this is so difficult for Jacksonville, for Nick Foles, not for Gardner Minshew, and here's why. Jacksonville signed Nick Foles to be their quarterback. I believe the first 2 years of his contract are guaranteed. We're just through year 1, but he didn't get a real shot at it because of the injury in Week 1, the broken collarbone, so he was never able to establish any type of a tempo or cohesiveness with his offense. Minshew has come in and played fairly well, 6th-round pick, so they have to find out what they have with him down the stretch and decide what they're going to do with Nick Foles. Tough organizational decision, tough on Nick Foles, but this is Gardner Minshew's opportunity.
And that Week 14 game at home against the Chargers. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Darryl Worley up to make the tackle. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And here comes Leonard Fournette, the big, and I mean big, tailback out of LSU. When he takes the ball inside, people make decisions about whether they want to tackle him or not, and he has enough speed to get to the perimeter and outrun defensive backs. When he puts it all together, he makes the Jaguars' offense very difficult.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. And we take a look now at the defense for the Raiders.
Safety DJ Swearinger brings not just athletic ability to the field, he also brings a strong belief that he can get to the football on every snap. An absolutely fierce hitter, you can feel his intensity even when you're sitting down and having a meeting with him prior to the game.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it though. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
60 Pittsburgh.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On the draw, this is Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Minshew throwing on 3rd down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here are the Raiders under head coach John Gruden in his 2nd go-round. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch and his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. From the gun, it's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. 2nd year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now the 1st-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Break down. 188. 54 Mike. Exit.
On 2nd and 12, Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
That's a very nice game there. Confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
on first down. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. A look now at the Oakland offense.
And there's offensive tackle Trent Brown, signed away from New England in the offseason on a 4-year, $66 million deal to protect his new quarterback in Oakland, Derek Carr. No stranger to the Bay Area. First 3 years in the league, where with San Francisco as a 49er, he can play left or right tackle.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
Jacksonville's football again. CD, earlier we were talking about the quarterback spot between Foles and Minshew, who might start going forward. But let's just think about this team. If you take a big step back, they're 4-8, 4 straight losses. They're not going to be going to the playoffs. What all does this team need as they go to the rest of the season and then in the offseason to move forward?
Well, I think that ownership is going to do a full evaluation from the team president on down. Okay, everybody always focuses in on the head coach, but I think it's going to be the entire organization, and he'll have to make a decision about whether he likes the leadership in place and are they going in the right direction. Second thing is they did bring in Nick Foles to be their quarterback. He didn't get a full run due to injury. Do they try it again next year, or do they move on to maybe a Gardner Minshew, who they drafted in the 6th round and played fairly well? And last but not least, the defense was supposed to carry them. Remember Jacksonville? Remember that? And they were so good against Tennessee on that Thursday night early in the season. They're 18th in total defense on the year. That's not going to cut it in their division against Houston, against Tennessee, right? Against Indianapolis. They've got to get better on that side of the ball as well.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The tight end Seth DUUUVAL, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Down. 15 line. 15 line.
They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Mike 54. Oh, here we go. Oh, Mike 54.
Now Carr. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Down. Wide at 8. Mike's 56.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
That's up.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
70, Indy.
They'll go play action here with Minshew. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To throw again on 2nd down. Minshew. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Raiders coming back out here, and CD, it's a Raiders team that's now lost 2 in a row, so they're 6-6. They got manhandled in the division game this past week against KC, 40-9. And that was a game really that the Raiders needed, but now the AFC West pretty close to out of reach. You know, they're 5-1 at home, 1-5 on the road, so that's been the story. Good news, though, they're undefeated in Vegas, so the future there looks bright, right?
I like that, and they'll get a fresh start there beginning in 2020. But when you think about this Raiders team, and you mentioned that home record versus road, they really made the road difficult for them, didn't they? Because of baseball and other things, they were on the road for, almost 50 days before they played a true home game, even though they did have a home game in London. That's not exactly how you want to do things. So I think this Raiders team has played better than expectations. Just being in the race this late in the season, I think, is a win for them. I'd look out for the Raiders in 2020 when they start over in Las Vegas.
But I guess we can't completely write them off. At 6-6, they're still on the outside looking in for that final wild card spot. But these last 4 games, 2 at home against Tennessee and Jacksonville, then they'll finish at the Chargers and at Denver.
I like your optimism.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Carr. And that is incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
50, play. Tighten up. Let's do it together. Let's go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette, and he powers his way up past the 30. The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow.
Well, that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Here we go. 18, Gator.
Double dog, that's the way.
Shoot.
From the 31, Minshew. He'll get that to DUUUVAL, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Minshew. Going underneath here, the tight end DUUUVAL. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Let's go now.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Minshew, 1st and 10. The connecting here with DJ Shark. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Let's go!
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Minshew. And that's incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Minshew to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he will have a first down here, but I have a feeling it's not going to be for long. They're already walking backwards. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. That one complete. He finds Shark. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now after the made field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Tyrell Williams heading back out onto the field now. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. You better be afraid of me. You better.
Throwing on first down is Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Check three, check three, check three.
On the draw, Richard. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, now Carr. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Now that's absolutely terrific technique right there by the corner. Exhibit A. Zone coverage, knew where his man was in relation to the football at all times, and made a nice play.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
I got you. I got you.
To throw again. Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. Gets it 3rd and 4.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Finding Williams once more, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon God.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now a play fake. Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Carr to throw. He completes it to Jones. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. It's a screen to Richard. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they dialed up the screen there, hoping that convoy of blockers could get out in front and get them enough yardage for the first down, but they were able to get there before he got to the sticks.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Looking to throw it, Minshew. The intended receiver was Seth DUUUVAL, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew trying to lay one up deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now Leonard Fournette. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Check, walk 54, walk 54. All day, baby, all day, all day, all day.
Back near his goal line, here's Carr. His throw incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. Well, Charles, you said you would be hesitant to throw it. They should run it. They did. Not only did they get space for their punter, forget that, they got a 1st down.
And I think that is a mild surprise because it's not exactly rocket science to think, run it here, don't throw it, take care of the football. I would expect that the defense to be a little bit better prepared than that.
Down. 180. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. On Yanni.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Time to go, night.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26.
Interception all day, baby. Yeah.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Got it. Check. 59. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Let's go.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Again, it's Fournette. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense.
Down. 60 or. 59. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Down.
They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Fournette, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
On 2nd and 9. Minshew toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The tight end set the valve, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Minshew throwing on 3rd down. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, Minshew looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. The open man is Shark. It's complete. 23 yards, the final tally.
I think we should put a stopwatch on that one. You talk about having all day to throw the football, able to scan the field, find someone open after a long time. Big time credit to the offensive line for protection. That's what we used to call throwing out of the rocking chair.
This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Minshew, 1st and 10. The open man is Westbrook. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. It'll be Minshew again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end set DUUUVAL, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Fournette, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Out of the gun is Minshew. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Maurice Hurst, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Let's go!
Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. Able to find Walter. That's complete.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now the Jags down 10-6. And time, a huge factor. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. 59. And let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. Check.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Minshew. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And able to find Conley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 30 yards there, and of course the 1st down as well. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Caught here by Conley. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Big stop, G.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Go. Ready.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety, so you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Fournette, he takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow. Now that was an impressive drive, but I think we're going to talk about being way more impressive because of who led them. A rookie quarterback in that spot, putting his team in front, that's big league.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now it's the Raiders' turn, trailing by a field goal. 35 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down.
Now, 54. 180. 180. We're good. We're good. 180.
Back to throw, Carr. That escapes the sack. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. He's back to throw. Caught by Jones. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. He'll look to throw. He's got it to Williams. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Keep playing hard.
It's a gain of 27 yards. And the Raiders first and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Now Carr. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Second and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden.
They'll take over first and 10.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
Go now. 50, plant.
Check, 59. Here we go.
Let's go.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.